have spent. I'm not even going to get onto that. These blue. We know about the £1 billion blue bottle jobs. Spent £1 billion on the project, and they can't even beat Ipswich at home. This is what it's come down to. Ipswich at home, bro. You didn't even have a lead. You guys are fighting for Champions League, and you guys always say to me, Champions League. We don't care about top four. You seem to care now. You used to say, oh, this is an Arsenal thing. It seems to be a Chelsea thing right now. Oh, the last couple of years, you guys were rebuilding. You were, some of you guys were even saying you're in a title challenge this season. Lewis, you yourself said you have the best squad depth in the league. If I'm not mistaken.
I was wrong about that. Massively wrong.
Am I wrong? So the best squad depth in the league, a team with Jackson, Cole Palmer, Madueke, Neto, two midfielders that cost more than the whole Ipswich team, if I'm not mistaken. and then your whole defense, and you can't get a win versus this team. You know what? Let's break it down. Let's break it down for a second. Defensively, we had a conversation a couple of years ago. You said, you know what? Our defense is at least going to be one thing that's going to be good about us. Well, when you have youth and you have a back line that keeps changing, and you're going to have
inconsistent. When did I say that?
A couple of years ago, we had a fight about your defense. This is
so the Tuchel era.
Yeah. But I'm just saying.
How are you bringing back a take from 2021?
Lewis, I'll let you cook. Let me cook. Stop.
Don't cook with takes from 4 years ago with a different squad.
No, but this is where it's important. Since Thiago Silva left Chelsea and retired, your back line retired. You guys cannot defend. And when you guys do defend, your attack goes to sleep. So your team is dysfunctional. Your team is dysfunctional. When you guys have good defensive performances, you cannot rely on your attack. When your attack shows up and scores 2 goals, you've already conceded 2 goals, and that's why they're back into the game trying to score 2 goals. Honestly, at this moment in time, I'm looking at the players, the defenders. I'm looking at the attackers, and I'm saying, what the hell's going on? The only part of your team that's functioning, I think, decent is the midfield. And then it comes to Enzo Maresca. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I can see Chelsea fans already becoming Enzo Maresca out. And the reason why, I'll give it to you right now. One, if they don't get Champions League football, the repercussions from that could be the manager's job. Tactically, and his in-game decision-making for substitutions is questionable. In the championship last year for Leicester, a squad that should have been able to get promoted easily, he was in a good position. He also had a dip and almost didn't get them promotion. At the end, he did, but he didn't, almost fell off. Now Chelsea, they're falling, and they're falling hard. They're not even one of the best teams in that challenge for top 4 right now. I would say Newcastle's a much better team than them defensively and offensively. I would say Aston Villa is a better team than them defensively and offensively. I would say Man City, defensively, they're shocking, but they're better than them offensively. And then you go to Nottingham Forest, they might not be that good offensively, in my opinion, but they're better than them defensively. All these teams have parts of their game that are better than you. And I think you guys are leaving yourself short. Ipswich is supposed to be a game. It's supposed to be a gimme. It's supposed to be easy. You should not be struggling in this game, especially knowing you're going to be facing Newcastle and Liverpool coming up. What on earth are your players doing? They are bottling it. They choked. They seen an opportunity to get an easy win.
That is the perfect word.
They thought they were going to come into this game and they were going to be like, you know what? We got this win. This is a game we can chalk off. Let's focus on getting this done and move on. A little bit of arrogance, a little bit of cockiness from some of your players thinking that they're just going to get the job done. They get hit with the first goal, and then they don't know what's going on. They get hit with the second goal afterwards also, and then at that point, you're chasing the game. Your manager finally is proactive and makes substitutions early in the game, and you get results from it. I think he needs to be more proactive, and this is where you guys criticize Pochettino heavily. But I'm not seeing the same energy for Maresca.
Yes.
Maresca has been doing the last couple of games.
You just said he made the right decisions in game.
No, today he finally did. But there's been a lot of games where he should have made these changes earlier. He should have. If things are not working, there's games where he didn't even substitute and you still lost. Like the Fulham game a couple of months back.
Yeah. Late our subs in that game, Crystal Palace.
Yeah. So I'm seeing a pattern where he does not trust his tactics. When he sees his tactics are not working, he's not trusting his judgment to make a change. He's still trusting the game plan going into the game. Sometimes you have to throw the game plan out That's one thing that other managers are quick to do. When they see something's not working, they make adjustments to fix their mistakes. And another thing, Cole Palmer. I'm not even going to get onto Jackson. I'm not going to get onto Madueke. I'm not going to get onto them.
Classic
Cole Palmer got an assist in this game, but it still does not hide the fact that he, this season, since the turn of the new year, has been poor. Very, very poor. And it's not just his overall performances. His injury might have been a factor. I'll give him a little bit of a break, but he's supposed to be the shy.
No. I'm not going to give him a break. You give him a break, Egal.
He's supposed to be.
You give him a break. I ain't going to give no one a break.
He's supposed to be the guy at Chelsea. He's supposed to be the guy carrying Chelsea. He's supposed to be the future captain, the future star, the guy who replaced all these other players you had over the last couple of years to get you over to the next level. You compare him to Saka, you compare him to other players, but in this time when Chelsea are struggling, 1 win out of your last 5 in the Premier League, he only gets what? 1 assist? 1 assist since what? Are we talking a month now?
Since Aston Villa in December.
As much as your players,
has he even scored a goal in 2025?
As much as your other players,
2.
1 second, let me finish.
I'm saying.
As much as your other players can
I think he's got
smoke,
2.
as much as your other players can hold smoke for your attack and your and everything else, Cole Palmer, you guys thank God for Cole Palmer. Right now, he's not even performing. You have to hold him to the same smoke. He's showing a level of inconsistency right now that he should not be showing as a star player. You guys painted him out as the main man, one of the best players. Jamie Carragher came out here and said he's the best player in the Premier League. He's not fucking showing it. The best players in the Premier League, they step up for their team when they need him. And I like Cole Palmer, but what he's doing for the last 2 months disappearing, it's unacceptable. And he needs to step it up.
I agree.
He's not exempt of getting dropped. And that's
let me just say something, Egal. I want to say something. I want to tag me, and you get me, so I can bury Lewis once and for all and its club. I just want to say this about this whole. I'm seeing what everyone's saying in the chat, and the Chelsea fans have been apologizing for the last 24 hours. So big up to the Chelsea fans, you get me, for actually apologizing for everything that they've said about me for this last year since the Poch situation. You know, this whole Poch out my club. Everything that we spoke about last year on the air,
which was correct.
Yes, and I was correct as well, because I said it's not just the manager's fault.
Yes,
some of the
you
players
were correct
are shit.
on that too.
And I mentioned Win Stanley and Stewart every single week, and it was like, just change the manager and you will see. Here's the worst case scenario for Lewis, and I'm gonna say this: the reverse of last season happened this year. This is a possibility. You never know, because the season hasn't ended yet. Which is, instead of starting the season really bad and ending it well, this year you might just start it really well and end it really bad. And here's the thing: Chelsea currently are on 56 points. Pochettino last season, factually, this is numbers, this has nothing to do with opinions, he finished on 63 points. Chelsea now have Fulham away, Everton, Liverpool, Manchester United, bogey team, and Nottingham Forest still left to play. And I think I'm missing out on one. There's one club I'm missing out on. Who is it? Newcastle away.
United.
Newcastle away. You don't have to be worried about us. You don't have to be worried.
Yeah, Newcastle away. It doesn't matter whether you're good or not. You're their bogey team.
It doesn't matter because we're not going to do anything.
For this next, yeah, that's what we say every time, and then you pull out something. So for the next 6 games, you guys, I cannot confidently say, hand on heart, 100% Chelsea are winning that game. Because Fulham away, we just saw them beat Liverpool. Fulham away, Arsenal got a draw with all their players fit. Everton is going to be a low block, of which Chelsea struggle against. It's not just going to be low block. It's going to be David Moyes low block. So it's not just going to be low block. It's going to be 7-footers, 3 7-footers playing at centre back. Branthwaite.
I can't wait to cross the ball 60 times into that, man.
Yes, there you go then. Branthwaite, Tarkovsky, and O'Brien. They're all literally NBA centers, and they're going to be playing at center back. You got Forest away. Your only hope is that they wrapped up top 4 by then. Newcastle
Same
away.
Thing for you with the league, man.
Yes.
Well, we allow Lavia for the guard of honor if you play the. Don't play the kids, actually. I remembered last year. Maybe not.
For Newcastle away, just put the L in the bag. That one is just a confirmed L. Like
I will pray to good Lord all weekends before that.
Yes.
Okay, after this weekend,
your prayers are much needed because you don't get results against Newcastle either. So your only 2 hope essentially is beating Fulham, which, to be fair, if you're calling Man United a bogey team, you are Fulham's bogey team because you always beat them. Like you rarely drop points against Fulham. And Your other hope is that Liverpool have wrapped up the title a week before and they just couldn't give a shit about the game. So, we just turn up to Stamford Bridge and we just couldn't care less. And the thing is, like, look, if we want to blame last season the manager, this season we also have to blame the manager. And if I blame the players, I will blame the players again this season. And I did say, whether people like Pochettino or not, one thing he always does at every club is look at his best forward and give him the keys. People say Palmer FC. Guess what? Salah FC just won the league. It's okay to overly rely on a player if he's superiorly talented to everyone else that you have. So what, were Man United in the late 2000s Ronaldo FC? Yeah, but he was their best player. So if he played like shit, more than likely United were going to play like shit. That's why Kylian Mbappe had his best numbers at PSG under Pochettino. One thing at this point in time, forward line speaking, I do think that giving Palmer the keys and giving him the freedom to express himself, which is something that Pochettino did last season, is one of the reasons why he thrived last season and had all the numbers that he had. While this year, Maresca is trying to make him part of the team, part of the structure. But if you give as much ball usage and if you give as much attempts to Palmer as you're giving a Sancho or as you're giving a Madueke or as you're giving whoever, and you're just making Palmer part of the team, he won't cook as much.
This is where I tell you that Palmer's had the most shots in the league. And he's also still our main creative outlet. Like, I feel like it's another narrative where we say that Cole Palmer hasn't been given the keys. He has a license to free roam, spam shots wherever he wants, and still be our main creative outlet. Like, for me, he's just dropped off the last 3 months. That's just it.
But how can you explain his drop-off? How can you explain his drop-off? Like, I understand, like, Salah had a drop-off.
I think it got really bad when he lost Nicholas Jackson.